Will homeschooling soon be the most favorable environment for young Americans? This is something that I believe in because the rate of homeschooling over the years has significantly increased and produced better results on achievement tests than public school. The U.S. wants to be back on the top because we're supposed to be the leading country on the global maps. But the charge for education and scores have been pretty low over the past couple of years, and they want to put us back on the top so that way other countries can still be intimidated by us. According to Megan Coleman of CYNCentral.com, the U.S. is ranked 36 on the global rankings for public education, and that's very low compared to what we used to be. There's a lot of countries surpassing us now, but on the top of the charts is China, but there's a lot of different reasons that they're up there that far. One of the reasons is that their teachers are very, very strict about their curriculum. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're paid a lot more than American teachers are paid. In China, they also don't have PE or extracurricular activities that they can go to. The students go to school for a significant amount of hours, and they're in the same classroom for a long period of time, and they don't let them move up until they know exactly what they're doing. Another reason is that the government there is very strict. There's only so many kids that your family can have, so you want the best for your kid. You want him to be able to excel there so they can have a significant amount of money so they can have a place to live. But there are other countries that are above us that don't agree with the way that China teaches their kids. There was a man from Britain that teach there, and he was not as high as China, but still up there, and he commented that he knows that China is above them, but he knows that the way they teach in Britain is very good, but they get to have a lot more fun with their curriculum. Like, it's not as strict and stuff, so kids enjoy going to school there. And there was a survey taken in China where kids didn't enjoy going to school at all there. With us being so low on the rankings, the U.S. government is trying to come up with ways to put us back on top as a superior leader. And with homeschooling producing the top results for America, it is more than likely they will fall back on it for our education system. But a lot of things have changed over the years. A lot of people have bad perceptions about homeschooling, but they don't know all the facts about it. Usually when you talk about homeschoolers, you talk about shy people who don't know how to talk, who maybe are rude because they're never around people, but it's actually the complete opposite of that. Homeschooling students are usually a lot more confident in themselves because they have been around people who loved them all this time. They have good test scores, they have good grades, they know they're going to a good college, so that gives them happiness, which leads to good confidence. And they actually took a survey, and they came up with the results that homeschoolers have better communication skills than public school students do because of this confidence. According to CBN.com, there's about 92% of people that think that homeschoolers are emotionally unstable, which by the other research that people have done, it is wrong. And according to Washington Times, 1.5 million children are now being homeschooled, which that obviously leads to a lot more kids having confidence, according to these tests. But homeschoolers are usually, but their parents care a lot about how they are being educated, and they're there to reinforce them. They can pick the best curriculum for them. They can pick what they want their children to be learning. Of course, there are laws to what you have to learn at homeschooling, but it's up to the parent to make sure that the kid is learning what he needs to be learning. There was a survey taken, and there was reasons why parents said that they took their kids out of public schooling, and this was because they felt that the teachers in the public schools weren't equipped enough to be teaching their classes, that maybe they were just thrown into the class and they were there. They never really taught their children what they needed to be learning, and they weren't satisfied with the results or the way that they didn't have a connection to wanting to push their kids farther. And that's one of the things that in China they did a good job of, because the teachers are so strict that you don't get a slack off in class and stuff. And here in public schools, you could pass by with D's, but that would not pass you in China. As homeschooling keeps providing consistent results, such as on achievement tests, the ACT, the SAT, parents are going to start feeling, the government feels that the parents are going to start to want to lean more towards homeschooling. And this could put us back on the top for global rankings, because we are one of the most superior countries, and people are supposed to think that we are well educated, because if they don't, they will think of us as weak. And the government doesn't want that. And this will also allow the flow of the economy to be less stressful for people, because they know that they will be able to get a job in the job market, and that they won't have to worry about any of the things that would happen if they didn't have an education. And with them getting to know that the kids are getting a good education, it'll help families get along better.